Hello, good afternoon, guys. Hello, good afternoon. I am happy to be live today. I'm always trying to play with my lights because I want to see what the best view for you guys would be. So when you see some changing and switching shades, just know that's me. Just trying to find the best lightning for all of us all. Welcome, everyone. So glad to be here with you all today. Very excited to have joined you here. Today, I have an exciting topic. Welcome. Guys, drop me a comment. You know, I'm not going to stop saying that. Show me some sweet love here, virtual love. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a hey. Tell me where you're, watching me from. As usual, I'm recording from Manassas, Virginia. And today we're going to be talking about something really interesting. For green card holders, there's some green card holders that, sometimes have to travel back home. And when they go home, the unexpected happens. So we're going to be talking about when you go home, you leave the US and you have a green card and you lose it, what you're supposed to do. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone joining in. Thank you for joining us. Drop me a comment. Tell me where you're watching me from. Let's interact. Okay, guys, and welcome to all my YouTube viewers. We're going to, of course, upload this video to YouTube. So as you can tell, this is a new channel. Just stick by, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and share the video. Okay, so back home to my Facebook homies. Drop me a comment and show me some love. Today we're talking about something very interesting. Green card holders are people who have been given, permission by the U.S. government to live and work in the U.S. legally. So they're given permanent residence here in the U.S. And sometimes these people, clearly it means that they're from a country abroad. They're not originally from the U.S. And sometimes they have to go back home to wherever they're from. And when they go back, they lose their green cards, because usually when people come from, are from America, sometimes they just are targets of armed robbers and of thieves. And so people steal their documents and papers and monies and whatever. Sometimes some people actually even think that they can travel with the green card of another person, but thankfully, because of the biometric system, there's no way that you can travel with somebody's fingerprint. So just don't go stealing. I don't know why people would steal other people's green cards, because they mess them up. But yeah, thankfully there's a process for handling that, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. Welcome Nana Kweku Dia. Kweku, you're very welcome. You're watching from North Carolina. I'm so happy to have you here today, and happy to have the rest of you here. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to share my screen so that you know that we're taking the legal scoop directly from the law. Let's jump to it. Okay, so when we say citizenship and immigration services, that's the USCIS, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. They are the people that issue green cards and usually would review and adjudicate all the petitions that you send to the US government in a bid to get permission to live and work here legally. Okay, so when we talk about the I-551, that's the technical legal name for a green card. So that's the green card is also known as the permanent resident card. That is your golden ticket to live and work in the US if you're a foreigner and you're not an American. So yeah, people who are legally admitted to live here in the US will have a green card. Everybody has a green card, and the green card is a document. It's a documentary evidence of your permission to live here. And this is, by the way, but guys, people don't know this, but it is actually the law that as a green card holder, you're supposed to have your green card with you at all times. At all times, you're supposed to carry it on you at all times. So take that as a legal pro tip for your your stay here in the US, you're supposed to have your green card with you all the time, always. You never know. The second pro tip I'm going to give you is that make sure you have copies of your green card. Have copies, scanned copies in your email, actual photocopies in your files at home, and whatever. Okay, that's always a great thing to do, so that in case there's anything goes wrong, you'll have the copy, and it's easier to get it replaced when you have a copy. All right, so guys, if you have a green card and you're granted a green card in the US, if it gets missing or lost or whatever, the only place that it can be legally issued or replaced is in the US. It cannot be done overseas. So if you go to, let's say, Ghana, or you're from Nigeria and you go back to Nigeria, or you're from, let's say, Uganda or Kenya or Morocco or wherever, you're here in the US, you're a green card holder, you travel home, you lose your green card, you cannot get a replacement from the embassy, from the US embassy in your home country. The only place you can get a green card replacement is here in the US. It cannot be obtained outside. Okay, so let's go over this. If you have one of the following items, a boarding foil is not required. So a boarding foil, let's talk about what a boarding foil is. A boarding foil is actually when you are home, as I said, and then you lose your green card, you need to have some permission or authorization to be able to board the flight or board the airplane to come back to the US. Usually, if you have a green card, it comes along with your airplane ticket, and then you show it to them, and then they let you board the airplane. But if you've lost your green card, what do you do? What you need is a boarding foil, and that is what will give you access to the plane and will show that, yes, you're a green card holder. So if you have one of the following items, a boarding foil is not required. So if you have an expired permanent resident card with a 10-year expiration date, usually you don't require a boarding foil. And then if you have, because that clearly shows that you are a resident and you're just supposed to renew it. Okay. And then the second one is an expired permanent resident card with a 2-year validity. Usually these types of cards are known as the conditional residence card. And the conditional residence card means that you have to remove the conditions of the card. That card is usually valid for just 2 years. It's also a green card, has the same benefits as the 10-year green card, but you are renewing it. And what happens is that if it's expired, you have your form I-797, which is your notice of action. So a notice of action is what you are given once you have the 2-year green card. 90 days before its expiration, you're supposed to apply to the USCIS that, look, USCIS, I'm here again, take the conditions of my green card. I want to be a permanent resident. I don't want the conditions of my green card. And conditional green card is usually because of marriage. You've been married to your U.S. citizen spouse or green card holder spouse for less than 2 years before the approval. And sometimes for investment visas also, you'll be granted a condition and you have to remove the conditions. You have to satisfy certain requirements to remove the conditions. So when you apply for the renewal of the green card, once you send in your application, the USCIS will usually send you back something known as the form I-797. It's the notice of action, and it will indicate that your status has been, extended for an extra 18 months pending the adjudication of the renewal petition that you have filed. Okay, so guys, that if they're saying that if you have any of these things, then a boarding foil is not required. So this will not apply to people who have those documents. Let's scroll. Okay, good. Now we are right here. Let's see what's going on here. Let me add this back to the stream. Guys, stick with me. We're driving at something. Okay, good. So so it says here that if you have an expired green card with a 2-year expiration date and the notice of action, then that extends the validity, generally 1 year, usually 18 months. Okay, Yeah. So the form I-829 is the investment, one of the investment types of visas. I think is the EB5. Yeah, where you have to you'll be given you'll be given a conditional, and then you have to remove the conditions. So let's move away from that. That's not what we're discussing today. So let's go more. Let's talk. I'm sorry, that's my office line blowing up. Okay, so if your green card has been lost, stolen, or destroyed, you may apply for a boarding foil that's valid for 30 days. Usually the boarding foil will be given. It's a very temporary document. It's just for 30 days, right? Because you're just using the boarding foil to board the plane back to the US, because let's say you're in Ghana, Nigeria, your green card is lost. You need something, some document, and that's what you'll be issued, the boarding foil. And it's for a single entry, because so once you come into the US, that's it. It's not valid for going out of the US and coming back in. Single entry. Okay. And so normally to issue the boarding for, we're going to be discussing what the process is. I recently received a call from somebody who was in Ghana who had unfortunately lost his green card and was, kind of felt really screwed, because when you lose your green card, it's like, okay, how are you going to come back? But thankfully, this is the process you have to go through. It's a very simple process. We're going to be discussing it in a couple of minutes. Well, more than a couple of minutes, but in very few, like in a few minutes, we'll discuss it. Very briefly. That's what I mean to say. Okay, so with the boarding for, to issue your boarding for, usually there'll be an interview. Guys, drop me a comment, drop me all your comments. I'll get to the comments very soon. If you have questions about this topic, drop them. So the consular officer will interview you to make sure that you are a green card holder. Because imagine, people who, let's say, are indigenous, and let's say they are in Nigeria, they're in Ghana, they don't have green cards, and then they just go and say, look, give me a boarding foil, I want to get to the US. And then they're giving boarding foils, then they'll come here. I mean, that is like free, like an open border, something for people to just come into the US without green cards or without visas. So they always have to interview you that would be fun, right? So no, they don't do it that way. They have to interview you to make sure that you hold a green card and that you have a lawful permanent resident status here in the US before they issue you that boarding foil to be able to come here in the US. The US is very, very protective of, the people of who they allow here in the US. So let's jump all the way here to this process. So the first step is that you need to pay your filing fee. Of course, it's all about the money, guys. There's all these applications you have to pay. So that's one thing. If you always have to try to, be ready. Some of these problems, losing your green cards, there's payment. So you pay your fee. They'll show you through a US bank account, or you use your credit card or whatever through the USCIS online payment. So read the instructions. Of course, the fee is not refundable. Of course, also regardless of the decision. So if they don't issue you the boarding foil, it's not refundable. You can't say, give me back my money. Then the second thing is that if you plan to file the form I-131, pay the fee on the USCIS before appearing in person at a consular section. Okay. Let me find, I have this, what the I-131 is. I have it actually opened here, what that form will help you to do. Application for travel document. Exactly. So let me see if I can share this screen as well. It might just make, no, you know what? It's just the I-131A is an application for a travel document. So that's it. So if you plan to file a form I-131A to apply for your, your green card boarding foil, you have to pay the fee online before you appear for the interview at the embassy. So the embassy of your home country, you'll go there, and you must bring your evidence of payment. Of course, you'll be issued with a receipt stating that you've paid. I think the fee for the I-131 is currently at $575. Those fees, I think it's about $575. You might want to cross-check that. So pretty much that's it. Let's if the individual should have applied for SB1 is okay. So let's skip this. We don't need this for our purposes. We're still discussing. So that's the process for applying for. I'm sorry, my camera is just blocking my view, so I have to kind of like find where the screen I'm sharing is. Okay, so we're back here. So the next stage you want to go to is that you schedule your appointment. To request a boarding foil, you have to email, the consulate in your home country. For the purposes of this video, we are using Ghana. So the email for Ghana is consular@state.gov. Oh no, the dot at the end is a full stop. So it's just consular@state.gov. So you include scanned copies of your completed I-131 form, your passport, and then your payment receipt. Okay, so for the interview, you have to, for the appointment, you have to make sure you are carrying certain documents as well. This is the step 3. Bring the following documents to your appointment. That's one thing, guys. If you're going for any type of immigration appointment, your checklist, that is crucial. You always have to make sure you have a checklist, because if you leave out one document, unfortunately, your interview may be rescheduled, or they'll push it all the way back. It's very difficult to get, an interview slot. So you want to make sure that you have your checklist and you are ready for the appointment. The best way to get ready is to have a checklist. You make sure you check everything and you have it ready, or always arrange in order. And the best order that I recommend is look on. So for example, if you have this order here, step 3, this is directly from the state.gov website, the US government website. And what you want to do is, I'm sorry, my phones are just blowing up. Just follow the order that you've been given. So the first one is the completed 131A. Have that on top. Okay, have that on top. Then you have your receipt, payment receipt. Also, that's a printed mail, email receipt notice, also confirming your appointment. Then have your unexpired passport, always with a validity of at least 6 months. Remember the 6-month validity rule. That is part of what the immigration system in the US requires. If I remember one time, this was some years ago, I was coming to the US for holidays, and I got to the airport. I was in law school then. I think it must have been 2013 or something. I don't remember exactly when. I had my visa. Of course, I had a 5-year multiple entry visa. I got to the airport, and I was ready to board my flight. I had all my things packed. I went with my older, my big sister. That's my older sister. We got to the airport, and then I think I went alone. I think I may have gone alone. When I got to the boarding gate, they told me that my passport was going to expire in, I think, 4 months, and so I couldn't board. I had to go back home with all my bags. Imagine, I had packed shito, I had packed random things I was bringing to America. I went back home and I had to apply for a passport. And I think, the passport I was given a 10-year passport or a 5-year passport. I can't remember, but whatever it is, they were like, so that was when I checked and I realized, there's the 6-month validity, the 6-month validity rule for passports for the US. And so always remember, your passport always has to be 6 months away from expiration for anything you're applying for. So just make sure your passport is always, you have some years on your passport. So that's one story. Oh my gosh. And my sister was comforting me. She was like, it's okay, you'll go, you never know why. I'm like, oh God, it just ruined all my plans, and it just delayed my trip. But in the end, that was a lesson that stuck with me for life. So guys, remember the 6 months validity rule. So unexpired passports with a validity of at least 6 months. Okay. And then your airplane ticket showing your departure from the US, as well as your intended departure, your departure date from the US, and then when you intend to depart from your home country. In this case, we're talking about Ghana. Guys, I think that is the end of the let me push my camera a little bit so that I don't have to go down to see this. Okay, yeah, we have a few more points here. Let's go through these points. This is quite an interesting topic, because Okay, so the next thing is that you want evidence also of your green card status. Your passport showing admission stamp to the US as a green card holder, and then a copy of your green card if you have it. And then the next thing is that you need to show that you were in the US within the last 6 months, within the last 12 months. Guys, remember this also. When it comes to green card holders in the US, you are not allowed to leave the US for more than 365 days. Because you're a permanent resident, and so you need to show that you are resident in the US. So you can't be gone for 2 years and claim you're a green card holder. So that's why there's this requirement. Okay, as a green card holder, you have to be here at least for some time every 12 months. You shouldn't stay abroad for more than 12 months. So that you need to show that you were in the US within the last 12 months. Then you need also the police report that shows when the card was lost, the detailed explanation as to when and to whom you reported the loss or the theft. That just details about the theft and how it happened, and the report from the police station. Then you need a passport style photograph, one passport photograph, according to the requirements. Just go over that by yourself and then make sure you comply, because oh my goodness, the consulates don't joke with their pictures. That's like some serious thing. Like the pictures, the passport pictures have to be according to what they want. Remember, I think because of the 9/11, they don't want people with hats and sunglasses and things covering their ears and looking midway. They want to see everything and make sure that this is this person, and for biometric purposes and for identification purposes and for whatever reason, you have to make sure you comply with what they want. The passport instructions, passport photograph instructions that you're given. Just try to provide all of that. So the final thing is that they give you a timeline. I know this is one very interesting question I'm always getting. So lawyer, how long will this process take? How long? The timeline, the immigration law timelines are the most unpredictable things you could ever come across. Very unpredictable processes, and so here we have it confirmed once again. Processing time will depend on the circumstances of your case and the amount of information and evidence you provide. And of course, they didn't add this, but it definitely also depends on their internal processes, how much backlog they have. So if they have 500 people in the consulate who have suddenly come and have all lost their green cards, of course there's going to be a delay. If they just have 2, of course then the delay will be shorter. So it just really depends. Nobody can tell you that it will take 10 months or it will take 2 months. I'm sorry, but it will take 2 days or 3 days or whatever. That just depends. So guys, that is it. If you go abroad and you lose your green card, you need to apply for a boarding foil. That's the process we've just been discussing. Call me on 802-7800-564. We had a big problem with our telephone lines, and so we changed our number. So this is a new number. Oh my goodness. Hello, George Niklote. He says, great work. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining us, Prophet George Clotty. I appreciate it. Morris Brown. Oh my goodness. Hello, Morris. I'm so happy you joined us today, and thank you so much for your comments. He says, very informative. Well, thank you. I aspire to inform you guys. I don't take all this for granted. I do my legal research. I'm always, trying to bring you guys updated legal information, because as you know, the U.S. immigration system, like, it's the fastest changing area of law, like extremely fast, and they're always updating policies and all that. I've had also concerns. People want updates on the amnesty and what's happening in Congress. I'll do a video on that sometime soon. I want to be sure I'm bringing you the hot creamy legal tea. So guys, stay tuned. I will be talking about that very soon. I'm just wanting to make sure that we have enough information to bring you guys, and then we will take it from there. So guys, if you have any type of U.S. immigration problem, just give my office a call on 802 7800-564. That's my new office line. Call me and schedule a consultation with my office. You'll speak with my legal assistant, and then she will put you on my calendar. Okay, well, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys are staying safe as usual. You're getting vaccinated, and you're showing love to all the people around you. Until we come your way again, it's been really fun. Just take care of yourselves, and thank you so much. Bye bye.